Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a thanks card to make. I'm choosing, this is part of my washi tape collection, and I'm just choosing a thicker and a slightly thinner washi tape. It doesn't matter what the pattern is of the washi tape because it won't be on the project in the end. I'm also using some distressed watercolor cardstock from Ranger, and I'm just using this because I'm going to be blending my distress oxides, and it blends really nicely. They seem to blend really nicely on this paper for me anyway. So I'm just going to roll up my sleeve and put my washi tape down on my sleeve because I don't want it to stick to the paper and pull up the paper in the end of the project. So I'm just trying to take away a little bit of that stick. So I do that to each piece of washi tape that I'm going to use. And I'm just using some of the thicker ones and the thinner ones and creating a pattern on my card front. I felt like it had been a long time since I'd done a rainbow card of any description, and I see all these beautiful rainbow cards out there, so today was my day, and I have got out my distress oxides and created a rainbow from them. So I have my ink blending tools, and then I am just putting a little bit of ink on each one, trying not to put too much on. I'm really sorry that the camera shakes here. I didn't realize that the camera was shaking whilst I was doing this blending, so bear with me and I apologize. And so I'm just adding a little bit of each color, and I go back and forward a whole lot. So this is in real time, the first couple of colors, and then I will speed you up to get you through it a little bit quicker. So I'm going back to I think it's worn lipstick, and then I go back to the purple and then add a little bit more of the pink. I don't want to lose any color, and because the round ink blending tools obviously have a certain width to them, sometimes I sort of use the edge a little bit so that I don't lose all of one color, and I can kind of make it a little bit thinner, a thinner stripe, if that makes sense. So now I'm adding the blue, and you can see I go back to the purple and then back to the blue, and I just go back and forward until I feel like I've got a nice blend between the two and I can see enough of each color. And then I seem to have just enough room on the end for some of this red, and I was struggling sort of not to lose it, but I've done the best I can. I am just going to use my heat gun to dry it off because they stay wet a little bit longer than normal dye inks. And then I am really gently peeling off the washi tape, and it's better to peel it off from the center rather than the edge, otherwise it can catch the edge of the paper, which I do just ever so slightly here, but you can't end up seeing it at all, so that's fine. And I actually end up trimming this piece a little bit later on, so it's not there at all in the end. So as I said, really carefully with the washi tape, even though I did try and take some of the stick off before I started. I could have definitely just done a full-on rainbow card, and that would have been just as cool. However, I decided that the little white stripes in the middle just added something a little different to it, just for fun. I have these letters here that are from AliExpress, and these are not the largest letters, but they're a smaller set that I have, and I find I can make longer words with these. So I'm going to have, as I said, this is going to be a thanks card. So I'm just kind of lining up the thanks roughly in the center, and I am just eyeballing this. I'm not too worried. I don't need it to be utterly perfect, so just doing the best I can. And then I'm going to run it through my Cuttlebug. I just stuck it down with some post-it note post-it note tape. And then I am going to peel it up slowly. I want to keep the letters, if possible, I want to keep all the letters in place because we're going to be putting them right back there so we can kind of create a seamless card with a little bit of height behind the letters. I have die cut each of the letters 3 more times out of black cardstock, and I did it out of black cardstock because I am going to have a little border of black, so just to help the letters stand out a little bit more from the side. So I'm just stacking them up, adding a little bit of liquid glue. This liquid glue is the Multi-Matte Medium by Ranger, and I'm just stacking them one on top of the other. I have my 110 pound Nina Solar White card base, and here's the black cardstock I was talking about, a couple of pieces of double-sided tape, and I think there's about a 1/8 maybe of an inch border around the of the white. And then I'm going to take these pieces out gently. The A I want to keep together because it has that little piece in the middle of the A that I need not to lose. And here I am, I'm just going to cut off a little bit off each side of the rainbow cardstock or card front that we created. And I'm doing off all 4 sides just so that the thanks stays centered in the middle. So just using, this is my Fiskars paper trimmer, which I really like, and cutting a little bit off each side and then centering it there. I even quite like the thanks having the black letters in the middle, but never mind, that can be another card. And then I'm adding on plenty of double-sided adhesive, as you can see, peeling off all of the release paper. I don't want any little bits of the card or the letters to come up or get caught on, so I'm adding a little bit of extra liquid glue on all those little bits that don't have the double-sided tape, just so that it adheres down really well, because this is being adhered flat to the card. So all the layers are flat so far. Then from here it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is add liquid glue into the center of all of the letters, and then I'm going to put those black letters in, and that will create the height. And I'm just going to, some of them I just have to hold down for a couple of seconds just so that they take with the glue. But I do find that this glue does grab hold really quickly and dries really quickly, and it dries clear, so it's good. Works well for me. And then I'm just going to add that teeny weeny bit of the middle of the A in. So I've put a little bit of glue. So this is, remember that this is actually flat with the rest of the card. So it's going down in the center of that black letter A. And then on top of the black letters, I'm going to add more liquid glue. And this is where I'm going to add the colored letters back on top, so that this gives it the appearance of a bit of a seamless card. And start with that. I did toss up whether I should put on some embellishments and things on the front of this card, some sequins or some dewdrops or something like that. However, I just liked it nice and plain, and I kind of just like that the focus is all on the lettering on the front. That's my card for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.